So, blessed day to everyone. We are in the chapter 2 already. So, after nating ma-discuss ang chapter 2, babalikan natin ang lesson number 7 ng chapter number 1. So, dito sa chapter number 2, we will be discussing the entrepreneurial character traits, skills, and competencies. So before we discuss what are those skills and competencies of an entrepreneur to become a successful someday, let us discuss first our chapter 2 lesson number 1 entitled Character Traits Common to Successful Entrepreneurs. So what is character traits? When we say character traits, it refers to the mark or attribute that distinguishes an entrepreneur from the owner of an ordinary small business. So as an individual, we have differences when it comes to character traits. So some of us are perfectionists, environmentalists, disciplined, party animal, urbanite, music lover, organized, productive, procrastinator, and wise. So dahil doon sa differences natin, when it comes to character traits, we can identify now who are the entrepreneur and the owner of an ordinary small business. So what are the major groupings of entrepreneurial characteristics? So first one is the achievement cluster. So when we say cluster, it talks about the same kind or group. It consists of entrepreneurial character traits that are related to the entrepreneur's desire to be an achiever in the field of entrepreneurship. So as you can see, ang bawat entrepreneur, they have their own goal. Meron silang gustong marating para sa business nila. So as an entrepreneur, they aspire for quality. So they are not settling dun sa tinatawag nating mediocrity or yung pagiging ordinariness ng kanilang business. They are also achievers by nature and they strive to achieve. So they will do their very best just to achieve whatever goals na gusto nila for their business. Next one, constantly set the things to be achieved. So pinagpaplanuhan nila kung ano nga ba yung mga bagay na gusto nilang marating and they repeatedly find ways to achieve them. So hindi yan nakukontento sa kung ano yung business niya sa ngayon. Naghahangad pa ng mas mataas. So, they have their different goals for their business. At meron silang desire, meron silang motivation to achieve whatever goals man yan. What are the characteristics of an entrepreneur who aspires to achieve? So first one is the opportunity seeker. A person who dreams of becoming a successful entrepreneur must be a seeker of business opportunities. So kinakailangan whatever business opportunities na meron sa environment na kinalalagyan nila o sa isang community, dapat hanapin nila, dapat i-grab nila yun. For example na lang, gusto mong, kumbaga, may isang tao na gusto kang pag-aralin. Nandyan na, open na yung business opportunity. Kumbaga, open na yung opportunity na yan para sa'yo to study and then wala ka namang gana na i-grab yung opportunity na yon. Then, paano ka magiging successful? So, ganyan din when it comes to business. We must be a seeker of business opportunity. So, next one. Entrepreneur usually identifies a business opportunity and then thoroughly evaluates its viability. So whatever business opportunities na naghihintay para sa ating business, kinakailangan pag-aralan natin kung maganda ba yung magiging benefit nito sa ating business. So a business opportunity seeker is an entrepreneur who sees and acts on new business opportunities. So, hindi lang nila hinahayaan na makita lang yung business opportunity. They implement those business opportunities sa kanilang business. Second one, seizes unusual opportunities to obtain financing, equipment, land, workspace, or assistance. So, mas magandang i-grab natin yung mga unusual opportunities. Business opportunities may arise from changes in the environment, advancement and discoveries in technology, government programs and policies, people's interests and hobbies, and past experiences. So itong 5 na business opportunities na to ay i-discuss natin sa chapter 1 lesson number 7. So iisa-isahin natin mo. Successful entrepreneurs do not just wait or do not just watch business opportunities pass by, but readily seize them. Wala silang sinasayang na oras, wala silang sinasayang na business opportunities. Lahat ng dumadaan na business opportunities, ini-evaluate nila kung ito ba ay magiging helpful for their businesses or hindi. Kung sa palagay nila helpful, then i-grab nila to. And then kung hindi naman, then syempre, hahanap sila ng another business opportunities. Second one is committed. A highly committed entrepreneur displays full commitment to the work or endeavor that he or she is undertaking. Bakit? Kasi mahal niya yung ginagawa niya. Kaya lahat ng oras niya, binubuhos niya doon sa entrepreneurial activities or sa kanyang trabaho. An entrepreneur accepts full responsibility for what has been promised to the customer. So kung sinabi niya na magpo-produce siya ng product na 10,000 and then i-deliver niya to sa Thursday, kailangan gawin niya yon. Kasi kung hindi, masisira ang tiwala ng kanyang customer. Pangalawa, establishes proper coordination with and among workers. Kasi yung mga empleyado niya ang tutulong sa kanya to achieve yung goal na meron ang business niya. So, si workers din, si empleyado rin yung nagiging way para ma-delivered, ma-provide yung good and services dun sa specific time na sinabi natin kay ating customer. Third one, seeks to prioritize the satisfaction and interest of customers. So, whatever man yung hinahangad nila, ina-expect nila, we can prioritize, we can satisfy it. Kasi nga, committed tayo. Binubuhos natin yung time natin, yung effort natin. At yung tawag dito, yung pagiging dedicated, pagiging loyal natin sa ating business. Next one, commitment is related to interest. So, tama ito. Bakit? Kasi when you are not interested on something, paano ka magiging loyal? Kagaya na lang ng pakikipagrelasyon mo sa isang tao. Kung hindi ka na interesado sa kanya, di ba nagkakaroon ka na ng dahilan para maghanap ng iba. So, in entrepreneurship, kinakailangan i-build natin yung interest natin kasi napakahirap i-handle lang isang business, napakahirap ibuhos yung buong panahon natin, buong oras, buong effort kung hindi naman tayo interesado sa bagay na ginagawa natin. For example, sa umpisa ka lang pala interesado sa pagnenegosyo, paano na lang kaya sa mga susunod na araw? Paano ka magiging successful entrepreneur? Paano mo maiko-continue yung naumpisahan mo? Next one natin, the owner of an ordinary small business is already contented with the routine flow of her business and considers it as a burden to go an extra mile. Kumbaga, nasanay na siya sa bagay na ginagawa niya, kaya ayaw niya nang baguhin yon. As long as kumikita siya ng pera na makakapag-provide ng pangangailangan ng family niya, okay na yon para sa kanya. So, next one is the persistent. Persistence is the foundation of commitment. So, paano nga ba naging foundation of commitment? Paano ka nga ba magiging committed? Paano ka magiging loyal or dedicated sa bagay na ginagawa mo kung hindi mo kayang pagtiyagaan, hindi mo kayang magtiis? Trials and sacrifices and failures challenge the entrepreneur to be persistent. Paano ka magiging persevere? Paano ka magiging matatag without trials, sacrifices, and failures? Ito yung magiging reason para mas maging brave ka ba in handling those risks sa business mo. An entrepreneur learns to take repeated or different actions in order to overcome the obstacles. So, dahil sa paulit-ulit na tawag dito, nai-encounter ito ng entrepreneur, syempre, nakakaroon na siya ng knowledge on how they are going to handle those obstacles. Kung ano pa ba yung mga bagay na gagawin niya para maiwasan na mangyari ulit yung obstacle na yon. Second one, make personal sacrifices or exert extraordinary effort to complete the required task. So, mas naibubuhos po yung time mo, yung effort mo doon sa bagay na ginagawa mo. So, hindi nagiging pabigat yon sa part mo. Mas nasisiyahan ka pa kasi mas lalo kang natututo. Third one is stick to his or her own judgment in terms of opposition and failure. So, entrepreneur exhaust all possible means to keep their businesses afloat in the market. So, lahat gagawin nila para hindi sila mabankrupt, para hindi mag-fail ang kanilang business. And para makilala sila sa market, makilala sila ng mga customer. Number 4 is risk taker. A successful entrepreneurs or business risk taker kasi ang pagnenegosyo ay parang pagsusugal. Wala tayong kasiguraduhan kung mananalo ba tayo or matatalo. Pero when it comes to business, manalo ka man o matalo, kinakailangan mong tumaya. Bakit? Kasi, syempre, without risk, hindi tayo matututo. Diba? Risk is inseparable from entrepreneurship. Kahit anong pilit pa natin gawin para takasan, hindi natin maaaring takasan yan. And for those entrepreneur, when they are handling those risks, diba, masyado sila matatag. So, even though may mga pagkakataon na sukong-suko na sila, diba, gagawa at gagawa ng different strategies to overcome those risks ng business niya. So, there are 3 types of risk takers. First one is the aggressive risk taker, wherein they are not scared in taking any risk in businesses. So, masyado silang brave, masyado silang palaban in taking business risk. Second one is moderate risk taker. They are more calculative in taking the risk. Before sila gumawa ng isang decision, pinag-iisipan muna nilang mabuti, ina-analyze muna nila yung situation. Third one is the conservative risk taker. They are not very eager to take any kind of risk. They are already satisfied in managing a small business and a regular client. So, kontento na sila doon sa business nila and kontento na rin sila sa dami ng or sa bilang ng customer na meron sila. Hindi na sila willing na harapin yung risk na maaring harapin nila just to grow their business or just to expand their business. So when it comes to handling those business risks, magkaiba ang ating entrepreneur and owner of an ordinary small business, kagaya ng mga na-discuss natin sa previous topic. So dito, si entrepreneur, they weigh the pros and cons of a particular business opportunity before taking the risk. So before nila i-grab yung business opportunity, before sila tumaya, anong kadalasang ginagawa nila? Chine-check muna nila, ina-analyze muna nila yung business opportunity. Kung ano nga ba yung mas lamang, si advantage ba or disadvantage. Second one, takes all the precautionary measure before engaging in a particular business endeavor. So may mga sinusundan sila before they make a decision regarding sa kanilang business. Third one, evaluates thoroughly all the available courses of action before making the final decision. So, hindi lang, kumbaga yung mga plano, yung mga action na gagawin nila, may different option sila. So, i-evaluate nila yan isa-isa kung alin yung mas maganda before they make a final decision. So, when it comes to the owner of an ordinary small business, they takes the risk in all instances without considering the consequences. Kaya nga kung mapapansin nyo, kahit na alam nila sa paligid nila ay may kakompetensya sila, nagtatayo pa rin sila ng business nila. Kasi nga, diba, ang nasa isip lang nila, ang priority lang nila is masuplayan, mai-provide yung pangangailangan ng magulang nila or ng mga mahal nila sa buhay. So, number 5 is efficient and quality-oriented. A successful entrepreneur highly values efficiency and the concept of quality in all business undertakings. So, when we say efficiency, it is the ability to avoid wasting materials, energy, efforts, money, and time in doing something. So, instead na magko-consume ka ng Mas maraming materials, mas maraming pera, ano pa ba? Effort, energy, diba? Ano yung kadalasan mong ginagawa? Naghahanap ka ng another strategy para mas makatipid ka in producing your desired output. And at the same time, hindi mo hinahayaan na pumangit yung quality ng product mo or ng business mo. Next one, he or she always performs the required task in accordance with existing standards of excellence. So, pinapanatili nila na dapat yung product, yung service na ino-offer nila kay customer ay dumadaan sa magandang standard. Next one, continuously improves on his or her past performance. So, lagi nilang chine-check kung paano nga ba yung naging performance ng operations ng business nila. Kung hindi siya maganda, then nagkakaroon ng improvement. So, next one is strives to do things better and faster with minimal cost. For example na lang, bibili sila ng different machines, different equipment para mas mapadali yung pag-produce ng kanilang product. You should incur the lowest minimal cost in the production of goods and services without sacrificing quality to make them competitive in the market. Yes, gagawin mo lahat or gagawa ka ng way para makatipid in the production of goods and services, pero hindi mo naman isa-sacrifice yung pagkakaroon ng magandang quality ng product mo. An efficient entrepreneur produces more output using less input. Successful entrepreneurs generally work for zero defects in their products and services. So, kaya nga meron sila tinatawag na quality control. Nang sa ganon, they can check kung yung product ba na produce nila is may defect or wala. Lagi nating tatandaan na, syempre, tayo nagiging customer din tayo. Ayaw din naman natin na yung product na nabibili natin is defective. So, ganun din dapat yung mindset natin kay entrepreneur. Dapat panatilihin natin na walang sira, walang damage, walang defect yung product natin. Successful entrepreneurs are efficient, productive, and quality-oriented. So, yan yung katangian dapat ng ating entrepreneur. Our second cluster is the planning cluster. It basically supports the character traits in the achievement cluster. So, lahat ng achievement, lahat ng goals natin, objective, i-include natin yan kay planning. An entrepreneur often begins the day with a specific plan and ends it with a review of the progress or status of the plan. So, before mag-start yung day ni entrepreneur, lahat na ng plano, okay na, maayos na. And at the end of the day, syempre, ini-evaluate niya ba yan? Ini-evaluate niya kung lahat ba ng procedures, lahat ba ng nilagay niya sa planning, sa kanyang plano ay nangyari. The plan serves as the blueprint of the actions to be undertaken by the entrepreneur. So, it serves as our compass. Kumbaga, halimbawa na lang, may pupuntahan tayo ng isang lugar na hindi natin kabisado. Diba? So, for us na mapaaga tayo doon sa pagpunta natin sa destination, gagamit tayo ng Google Map or yung Waze para hindi na tayo maligaw, hindi na tayo makapag-consume ng maraming oras at gasolina. So, ganun din when it comes to entrepreneurship. We must have this plan para hindi na tayo maligaw sa gusto nating mangyari para sa business natin. So, let us discuss the characteristics of a planner. So, first one, they are goal setter. The basic concept of planning is setting goals and objectives. So, pag sinabi kasi natin goals, it talks about our ambition for our business or yung desired results natin. And when we say objective naman, these are the strategies or implementation steps na gagawin natin just to achieve those goals na gusto natin. Goals and objectives are the guiding points that direct all actions, efforts, struggles of the entrepreneur. So, instead na mas mapapatagal pa tayo sa pag-achieve ng goals and objective natin, mapapadali na lang dahil nga meron na tayong knowledge, meron na tayong reason, meron na tayong motivation to do our very best to exert and effort para doon sa ikalalago ng ating business. Being a goal-successful entrepreneur, they set clear, specific, and well-defined short and long-term goals and objectives. So, last time, na-discuss na natin yung short-term, long-term, and medium-term na plan. So, dapat whatever goals and objectives man na establish natin, dapat malinis to, klaro. Bakit? Kasi i-communicate natin ito sa mga taong involved sa ating business, kagaya na lang ng empleyado natin. Kung hindi tayo sigurado doon sa goal natin para tayong sumusuntok sa hangin, walang kasiguraduhan. Paano natin ma-achieve yung goal na yan kung tayo mismo hindi tayo sigurado? Next one, when we say goals, these are the long-term. Objectives naman, these are the short-term. Kasi nga ito yung mga strategies that we really need to implement. In setting the goals and objectives of the business venture, the entrepreneur is usually guided by the SMART, na kung saan it means specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Specific, wherein kailangan kung ano yung pinaka-goal natin, pinaka-objective natin, wala ng paligoy-ligoy. Measurable, wherein kayang-kaya natin evaluate yung progress ito. Achievable and realistic, feasible, dapat yung goals and objective natin. Possible siya, mangyayari siya in the near future. And time-bound, magsiset tayo ng time frame kung kailan dapat natin siya ma-achieve. Successful entrepreneurs sail through their journey with specific and concrete goals and objectives. Kailangan malinis lahat ng goals and objective. Kailangan realistic. So, second one is the information seeker. A successful entrepreneur constantly make decisions that will affect the operations of their business ventures. So, dahil si entrepreneur ay gumagawa ng decision, kinakailangan niyang magkaroon ng information. Dapat palawakin pa yung knowledge na meron siya kasi ito yung makakatulong para magkaroon siya ng magandang desisyon doon sa kanyang business. Primarily, seek a strong basis to make sound decisions. Yun nga yung sinasabi ko sa inyo. So, dapat lagi tayong kukuha ng different informations. Kasi kung hahayaan lang natin na kung ano lang yung nalalaman natin, okay na yun. Paano na lang kapag napunta tayo sa isang situation na hindi natin alam, paano natin i-handle yun. Next one, the usual constraints or limitations encountered in the gathering of information are data banks. That, pag sinabi natin data banks, these are the repository of information on one or more subject. So, nagkakaroon daw ng limitation when it comes to gathering of information in data banks. Bakit? Kasi, these are incomplete, dated, and irrelevant. Minsan, hindi siya useful sa part ng mga information seeker, hindi updated, incomplete pa siya. Costly in maintenance, lack personnel to maintain them. A successful information seeker, first one, seeks relevant information on target customers, suppliers of raw materials, and competitors. So, they must gather such important information, especially to their target customers, kung ano nga ba yung gusto nila, ano yung hinahanap nila sa suppliers natin ng raw materials at doon sa mga kakompetensya natin. And for us na mas lalo nating ma-enhance, mas lalo nating ma-improve yung quality ng product and services natin and yung business natin. Second one, verifies available information from various sources, both private and printed materials and agencies. So, lahat ng information that we are gathering, we must need to ensure na ito ay galing sa legit na sources. Ito ay nakapag-provide ng information which is really helpful sa ating business. Third one, seeks opinions and advice from experts in the business field. Kaya nga kung mapapansin nyo, ang bawat organization may iba't iba silang advisor, kagaya na ng financial advisor. Bakit? Nang sa ganun, merong gagabay sa kanila on how they are going to handle their financial. Number 4, finds other possible ways to make sure that the desired information is complete. So, i-check nilang mabuti kung lahat ba na information na kailangan nila is okay na or hindi. So, when it comes pala dito sa 6 relevant information ang target customers, suppliers of raw materials, and competitors, kinakailangan nating malaman kung ano nga ba yung information about them. For example, kay raw materials, dapat tanungin natin yung bawat iba't ibang supplier. Kung magkano ba yung raw materials nila, kung maganda ba yung quality, para pagkakailanganin mo na at least makakapag-produce ka ng product na maganda yung quality. So third one is the systematic in planning and monitoring. When we say systematic, it implies that there is a rational and logical approach in performing activities. So naka-organize yung planning and monitoring. Nang sa ganon, diba, when they are going to implement those plan and establish nila, diba, step by step nila yung gagawin. A successful and dynamic entrepreneur follows a systematic pattern of planning processes and monitoring approaches. Hindi nila pwedeng ipagpaliban or hindi nila pwedeng escape yung isang procedure. Kailangan step by step susundan nila yan para maging effective, para makapag-produce ng magandang result. Next one, there are step-by-step procedures that are scientifically designed to be followed in the preparations of plans and monitoring of activities. For example na lang, kapag gagawa tayo ng plano, we need to set goals, we need to gather data, which is important. Para doon sa pag-create natin ng plan, we need to analyze those data that we have gathered. Tapos mag-create na tayo ng plan, we will implement those plan and monitor the plan. So ulitin ko lang, hindi porket nakapag-create na tayo ng plan, doon na nagtatapos. Kailangan i-evaluate natin siya kung nasunod ba natin yung plano, kung kamusta ba yung naging result, para at least magkaroon ng pagbabago kung hindi naging effective yung plano na ginawa natin. So these are the differences between planning and monitoring. So under planning, it refers to the setting of goals and objectives. So when we say goal ulit, it talks about the ambition or the desired results. And how about objectives? It talks about the strategies or implementation steps na gagawin natin just to achieve those goals. Planning also serves as the preventive course of action. So before pa tayo mapunta sa ganyang klase ng situation, ngayon pa lang pinagpaplanuhan na natin kung ano nga ba yung mga gagawin natin. So how about monitoring? It refers to the evaluation of the activities and adapted courses of actions, whether they are carried in accordance with the plan. So i-check natin, evaluate natin, i-monitor natin kung lahat ba ng procedures na inilagay natin sa planning ay nasunod. It also acts as the corrective course of action. So kung may mali doon sa plano natin na na-implement natin, then we can correct it. The planning and monitoring activity should follow a systematic pattern. So sunod-sunod dapat yung procedure natin. Ibig sabihin, hanggat hindi natin natatapos yung procedure number 3, huwag dapat tayo mag-proceed sa procedure number 4. Step by step natin yung susundan para maging successful entrepreneur tayo. A successful entrepreneur adapts a systematic and coordinated planning and monitoring activities where he or she first gathers all the qualitative and quantitative information before formulating the plans. So, kinakailangan niya yung qualitative information and quantitative information. So, when we say qualitative, these are the information that cannot be counted, measured, or easily expressed using numbers. So, pag sinabi naman natin quantitative information, these are the information na it talks about numbers. So before we need to make a plan, kailangan lahat ng information na kakailanganin natin ay i-gather natin. Second one, develops a logical step-by-step approach in the formulation of plans. So kinakailangan step-by-step yan, procedures yan. Third one is that monitors the progress of activities and switches to alternative strategies when deemed necessary. So we must make sure or we must check kung yung activities pa na piniperform natin is nagpo-progress, nag-i-increase, and if not naman, then why not to try na i-implement yung ginawa nating another strategy. Number 4 is to evaluate constantly the alternatives in achieving the goal. So, kapag once na hindi naging effective yung strategy na ginawa natin, yung plano na kinreate natin, then why not na sundin natin yung alternative strategy natin. And after na ma-implement natin yung alternative strategy natin, we must evaluate it. Lagi natin i-check at the end of the day kung naging effective ba yung strategy na ginagawa natin in achieving those goals. So third one is the power cluster. When we say power, it is the ability of the entrepreneur to maintain the highest degree of interrelationship in the business community and influence others over to his or her line of reasoning. So as an entrepreneur, we have the power to influence those people na involved sa ating business. So since we have the power, we must use it properly. We must serve as a good role model in our business community. Power cluster means this is a set of character traits that reflect the degree of the interpersonal relations maintained by successful entrepreneurs in the community. So dito napapasok yung pagkakaroon ng relationship natin sa iba't ibang tao sa isang business community. Example na lang natin sa supplier natin, kakompetensya, investor, customer, we must establish a good relationship with them. So, ibig sabihin, even though we have the power to control them, hindi natin gagamitin yon in a wrong way. We must use our power to serve as a good role model. Next, it also defines how the entrepreneurs project themselves in the business community. Kasi kung hindi natin gagamitin yung power na meron tayo sa paggawa ng mabuti, syempre mag-fail ang business mo. Lagi natin tatandaan na the more na namamataas tayo, the more na ibababa tayo ng bills. So kung mananatili tayong humble, whatever achievement man yung marating ng ating business, itataas at itataas tayo na Diyos. So, kailangan maging humble tayo na entrepreneur. Next, it is the relationship and image of the entrepreneur in the community. Kaya nga, kung mapapansin nyo, bilang negosyante, pangalagaan natin yung image, yung pangalan ng ating business. Bakit? Kasi may mga pagkakataon na marinig lang yung pangalan ng company mo or ng organizations mo, diba, ma-identify na nila kaagad kung maganda ba or hindi ang business mo. Next one, it establishes the relationships of the entrepreneurs with the suppliers of raw materials, financial institutions, customers, competitors, the government, employees, and all other stakeholders. So we must have a good relationship and good communication to those people who are involved, to those organizations na involved sa ating business. An entrepreneur in the power cluster is first a persuasive and positive networker. When you are a persuasive and positive networker, you can easily influence and win over to their side the other stakeholders in business, such as your customers, suppliers, and prospective creditors. So kung nagsiserve ka as an inspiring and a positive networker to the business community, hindi ka na mahihirapan na i-capture ang attention ni customer, suppliers, and prospective creditors mo. Next one, able to establish good and positive networking with almost all of the players in the business community. Kinakailangan, hindi ka namimili kung sino yung mga kakaibiganin mo. Kailangan lahat sa business community ay kaibigan mo. You must establish a good and positive networking. Kasi nga, ikaw yung magiging role model nila. So next one, completely discard the concept of bribery in dealing with people. So hindi sila gumagamit ng hindi magandang paraan para lang makapture yung attention ng kanilang customer or those stakeholders na involved sa kanilang business. They are not also, ang tawag dito, hindi rin sila nakikiayon doon sa tinatawag na bribery or corruption. Hindi sila nandadaya ng ibang tao. Next one, employ or adopt a positive way of influencing others with their brilliant ideas and entrepreneurial aspirations. So they are using their ideas and inspiration para mag-serve as a good influencer doon sa mga taong involved sa kanyang business. So next one, they are good communicators and they find it easy to sell their ideas. Kaya nga kung mapapansin nyo, diba, madali nating ma-identify if someone is an entrepreneur sa paanong paraan, kung paano sila makipag-communicate. Kaya nga hindi sila nahihirapan na maghanap ng customer nila. As a persuasive and positive networker, the successful entrepreneur usually adopts specific strategies that will influence and convince others while maintaining the highest degree of respect. So whatever strategies that they are implementing, mini-make sure nila na magiging good influence to sa ibang tao, sa business community. And hindi sila gumagamit ng mga paraan na hindi maganda sa mga taong nasa paligid niya. Second one, makes use of positive contacts in the business community in order to meet the goals and objectives of the business endeavor. So, maganda yung in-establish niya na relationship. Nang sa ganon, diba, whatever goals and objectives man yung gusto niyang marating, hindi yun magiging imposible sa part niya. So our second one is self-confident. A successful entrepreneurs are known to have a high level of self-confidence. So it's really important for us bilang entrepreneur na establish natin yung pagkakaroon natin ng high level of self-confidence. Kasi paano nga ba natin paniniwalain ang ating or yung mga taong involved sa ating business kung mismo sarili natin hindi natin magawang paniwalaan. So next one, project favorable image of themselves which is founded on respect and good deeds in the business community. So even though mayroon silang tinatawag na self-confident, hindi pa rin yun nagiging reason na maging mayabang sila when it comes to the business community. And last one naman natin is entrepreneurial self-confidence is actually a manifestation of the entrepreneur's strong trust or belief in himself or herself. So for us to establish this self-confident, kinakailangan ng tinatawag nating gradual process. Hindi yan nakukuha sa madalian. So itong confident na to, nabibuild to every time na may mga bagay tayo na-encounter or nararanasan. So nagiging daan ito para ma-establish natin yung self-confidence. So this will be the end of our chapter 2, lesson number 1. So thank you for listening. God bless everyone.